Alice works at a local department store. She spends most of her day interacting with customers and coworkers. There's a lot of talking involved, but there's also another form of nonverbal communication that's being used just as often. Body language. Body language is the process of communicating through nonverbal signals. It includes things like our posture, facial expressions, gestures, and more. The meanings of these all vary from culture to culture, but we instinctively read body language and interpret it as some expression of moods, feelings, or intentions. So, in Alice's case, even before she speaks, she may be communicating all kinds of things to customers. For example, if her arms are crossed and she's avoiding eye contact, customers may not find her to be very approachable. However, Alice could be in a friendly mood, even though her body language suggests otherwise. And this isn't necessarily a conscious choice that she's made. This could just be how she habitually presents herself. But if Alice is aware of these habits, she can work on improving her body language. Changing your habits can be difficult, but if you take time to pause and check in with yourself, you can start to notice them and adjust things to become a better nonverbal communicator. This awareness can also be applied to reading others' body language. Let's say Alice notices that her coworker is unusually quiet, has his body turned away from her, and is slouched over. She may pick up that he's upset, or that there's an unspoken issue at hand. Depending on Alice's relationship with him, she may want to give him some space, or ask if anything's wrong. Being aware of the various aspects of body language can make all the difference in how people perceive you and how you perceive them. Be aware of how you present yourself, and you can say a lot without speaking.
GCF Global, creating opportunities for a better life.
Hello learners. Today in this session we will be talking about body language. We all have till now completed a major section of verbal communication, and now we very well know that what is and how we can improve verbal communication through all the sessions that we have gone through in this course of 10 days. Today I will be discussing with you certain technical terms that are associated with nonverbal communication. Although you all are very well aware of body language, of nonverbal communication, but there are certain, we can say there are certain words which we are not familiar with, or maybe not all, but some of us are not familiar with it. So in today's lecture, I will try to cover it up. I'll try to bring those technical terms, those jargon terms in front of you, so that you are able to understand the intricacies of body language, that is non-verbal communication. So let's start with it. We all know that just like any other art form, body language is also an art, and it can only be perfected, or we can say it can only be improved by patience and by time. We all know that if you want to make anything good in our life, if you want to make anything better in our life, we have to devote time to it. And apart from devoting time, it is important that we understand the intricacies associated with that. So let's start and let's try to explore that what all things goes in when we talk about body language. Researchers says that language is more recent technology. Your body language, your eyes, your energy will come through your audience before you even start speaking of it. So language is a recent phenomena, whereas body language has age-old history. It has, we can say, something which is far of earlier times than that of language. Research says that our communication consists of 35% verbal communication and 65% of non-verbal communication. This implies that whatever we speak voluntarily comprises of just 35% of what the other person makes out of us. The remaining 65% information about us is learned from our body language. So you can make out that how important body language is in our life. So we need to improve it. We need to make it much better so that we appear as a better personality in front of our viewers, or if we are going for interviews or anything for our professional life or our personal life, it has to be maintained, it has to be improved, it has to be chiseled out. Body language. Now let's talk about what is body language. Body language is a type of a non-verbal communication in which physical behaviors are used to express or convey the information. That is, body postures, gestures, eye movements, touch, use of space. See this picture, it very well shows that words, for words you can, means word is something which is which can give you one sided picture, but in non-verbal communication there are so many indication, your eye contact, your open, the way you stand, your open body language, facial expressions, your torso, how it is, feet and leg position, position of hand. So in these way, by decoding all these signals, you can very well analyze the personality of the person, that whether that person is in he's interested in talking to you, or he is there just to complete the formality. So you can make out that, and that it applies to everything in our life. We can make out the things that are happening inside the mind of a person just by analyzing their body, even if he doesn't speak a single word. Now, I told you that most of the time it happens unconsciously. And not just most of the time, I should say, generally it happens unconsciously. We are not aware of it. But the question appears now that can it be learned? So we can say yes, but it requires practice and time. And in that way, it can definitely be improved or bettered. Now, look at the types of body language that we have. Although we know, we talk about body gestures, we talk about postures, we talk about the way we stand, the way we look, body contact and all these things. But they are also divided into segments. So types of body language are eye contact, face, posture, gestures, hand gestures, personal space, body contact. Now, here comes a very important word, a very first word for all of us, and that is kinesics. Now, what is kinesics? It's the study of the way in which certain body movements and gestures serve as a form of non-verbal communication. Now, kinesics is, it might be a new word for some of us, but it includes what? It includes face, posture, hand gestures, and eye contact. But wait a minute, let me tell you over here that eye contact later on was put under a new term, and that term was known as oculesics. So kinesics is the main branch and oculesics is the subset of kinesics. So basically kinesics is the study of body movements and gestures. Then after that, let's move ahead. Kinesics, it was used in 1952 by an anthropologist, and his name was Ray Birdwhistell. Now, Birdwhistell wished to study how people communicate through posture, gesture, stance, and movement, and therefore he came out with his study in which he says that this body postures are very, very important, like posture, gesture, and stance and movement. These four things are very, very important to understand the personality of a person. And drawing heavily on descriptive linguistics, he argued that all movements of the body have meaning, and that nonverbal behavior, it also has a grammar, that if we analyze it, it's very similar to the spoken language that we use in our daily life. Now, let's talk about facial expression. Facial expression also go under the heading of kinesics. We all know that one or more motion or position of the muscles beneath the skin of the face, when it happens, it is known as facial expression. It is also among the most universal form of body language. It's a combination of eyes, eyebrow, lips, nose, and cheek movement that help us to form different moods and different emotions, or to express different emotions. Humans can adopt a facial expression voluntarily or involuntarily, and the neural mechanism responsible for controlling the expression differs in each case. Like voluntarily means when person fakes emotion. So then at that time, the facial expressions, we can say they are voluntary at that time. They are happening voluntarily at that time. And involuntarily is when a person, like when he is very happy and he's laughing. So at the time, the we can say the crings or the wrinkles that happens on his face, they all happen involuntarily, and these all things play a very significant role in communication. And it is also very important that in sign language as well, we study facial uh, expressions or communication. Now let's talk about gestures. We all know that what gestures are. They are movement made with body parts, that is example hands, arms, fingers, head, legs, and they may be voluntarily or involuntarily. Postures, they reflect that what is happening inside us. Postures are very important, and we need to pay attention to the posture of other person if we want to explore, and if we want to know that what is that person thinking about us, or what is that person, or whether that person is, even if it is with us, is he with us in reality or not. The term posture refers to how we hold our bodies as well as the overall physical form of an individual. Posture can convey a wealth of information about how a person is feeling, as well as hints about personality characteristics such as whether a person is confident, open, submissive, okay, or he is showing an we can say a sort of attitude. So all these things you can very well make out just by analyzing their body language or posture. Posture.
Body posture. Communication is only 7% verbal and 93% nonverbal. The nonverbal component is made up of 55% body language and 38% tone of voice. In this video, we will focus on body language. Our body responds to our thoughts. Let's see a few common body postures we take in our day-to-day life. Having the left leg crossed on the right indicates one wants to be challenged, listening with non-acceptance. Having the right leg crossed on the left indicates one wants to be liked. Crossing your arms during a conversation makes you look defensive and disinterested. Leaning back too much, you seem to be lazy or carefree. Leaning forward can seem aggressive. Breaking eye contact and fidgeting can make you seem untrustworthy or overly nervous. Nodding too much during a conversation indicates a person is easy to influence and makes you look like a bobblehead doll. Chopping or pointing with your fingers shows aggression and sometimes rudeness. Holding your hands behind your back indicates curiosity and arouses suspicion. Keeping your hands in your pockets indicates casual and sometimes secretive mindset. Looking up or looking around indicates someone is lying or not present in the conversation. Staring can be interpreted as aggressive. There's a fine line between holding someone's gaze and staring them down. Failing to smile can make people uncomfortable and wonder if you really want to be there. Steepling hands indicates person is confident about something. Clasping your hands indicates nervousness or being fearful. Holding palms up conveys weakness or surrender. Standing with hands on hips is an aggressive posture, like a bird or a dog, puffing themselves up to look bigger. Checking your phone or watch during a conversation says you want to be somewhere else. Plus, it's just bad manners. Shaking your leg while sitting indicates one wants to move on and not stay in the moment. Walking with heads down indicates low in confidence. So, what should you do? Be in awareness that your body represents your thoughts and communicates to other person accordingly. Some suggestions for making a better impression. Step 1. Become aware of your thoughts. Step 2. Become aware of your body. A wrong body language can convey the wrong intention. So, take a deep breath. Make a choice, correct your thought, and change your posture. If crossing arms, keep your arms on your sides. If leaning backwards, begin sitting straight. Change your chair and move out of comfort zone. If leaning forward, aim for neutral pose. If breaking eye contact, hold eye contact, especially during handshake, and try to be still. If nodding, nod once in a while, not at every point. If chopping, pointing, fidgeting, to be avoided at all costs. If holding hand back, or in pockets, aim for a natural, hands on the side posture. Pay attention, so that you naturally hold eye contact, smile, and be yourself. Empower yourself. Your body communicates the way you think. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, like, share and comment. To know more, visit our website.
Now, let's talk about oculasics. Oculasics is another subset of kinesics, and it means eye contact. Studying of eye contact is also very important in order to understand the emotions and the feelings of a person. In the book Human Emotions, that was authored by Carol Elise Izard, it says, a complete definition of human emotion take into account all three of these aspects or components. That is, number 1, the experience or conscious feeling of emotion. Number 2, the process that occur in the brain and nervous system. And number 3, the observable expressive patterns of emotion, particularly those on the face. So you just see over here that the third component is very, very important, because it is over here that oculasics plays its part in nonverbal communication. According to the science of oculasics, it can show which type of thinking someone is using when they are communicating. A person thinking visually might physically turn their eyes away, as it happens with all of us, as if to look at an imagined presentation of what they are thinking, even to the point of changing the focus of their eyes. Someone thinking in terms of hearing might turn their, we can say, eyes as much as possible to one of their ears. A person thinking in terms of what they feel could look downwards, as if looking towards their emotion coming from their body. Whether or not someone intends to send a particular meaning or someone else perceives meaning correctly, the exchange of communication happens and can initiate emotions. So it is important to understand these dynamics, because we often establish a relationship with oculasics. This is how, and this much, it is important for us to know. Another form of communication, a very important form of communication, is proxemics, in which we study about the space. It is the study of human use of space and the effects that population density has on behavior, communication, and social interaction. Edward T. Hall, the cultural anthropologist who coined the term in 1963, defined proxemics as the interrelated observations and theories of humans' use of space as a specialized elaboration of culture. In his foundational work on proxemics, The Hidden Dimension, Hall emphasized the impact of proxemic behavior, the use of space, on the interpersonal communication. Proxemics is also very, very important, and there are basically 4 categories of proxemics, and that are namely intimate, personal, social, and public. Now, what is public, or which space can be called as public? A place where one may freely enter. This type of territory is rarely in the constant control of just one person. However, people might come to temporarily own areas of public territory. Second type of space is interactional, and it's a place where people congregate informally. The third type is home territory, and it's a place where people continuously have control over their individual territory. Then the last one is body, that is the space immediately surrounding us. You will be able to understand these terms better by the video which is following after this slide. By that, you will be having a very better understanding of the word proxemics, that what in reality it is. After understanding the technical terms associated with nonverbal communication, now let's move ahead and try to understand what is a positive body language and how we can improve our postures or our nonverbal communication. So, positive body language is appealing, receptive, and easy to confront. It should place us in a position of comfort, dignity, and likability. It helps us to be open to other people and be approachable. Body language must not be defensive. Defensive body language discourages people from approaching us and establishing a contact with us. Body language must not display a sense of disinterest towards the other person, as it can lead to failure in jobs, interviews, and high-profile meetings. The body language of a person must neither be authoritative or nor submissive, but assertive. Because we should always keep this in mind, and we should always remember that actions speak louder than words. Positive body language helps people to be liked by other people in an organization or community, and it is therefore must for people across disciplines and ethnicities, as it plays a pivotal role in shaping our discussions and relationships with other people in our daily life. Positive gestures to remember: open palms, eye-to-eye confrontation, smile, equal handshake. And for postures, what you need to keep in mind? You need to keep in mind your standing position. It should be friendly, it should be open, your walking style, your hand movements. You should keep all these things in your mind to achieve a positive body gesture or a positive body language. And by improving all these aspects, you will definitely be able to achieve success in life in any field that you go, whether it's a professional field or it's a personal field. With that, I thank you.